In the lecture about component composition, I said that we can use the children prop for composition or an explicitly defined prop. And so let's now quickly explore that second option. So instead of using the children prop in a component and then passing in a component like this, we can use an explicit prop as an alternative. So let me show you what I mean by first commenting out all of this. And then we can go to the box component. So down here. And now instead of accepting children here, let's say we accept something called element. And it can really be called anything. So just L or really whatever. And so now we can go back up here and include the box in the old way. So closing it immediately, but then we can specify the element prop. And now here we can then do exactly what we had here. So let's copy that and paste it, give it a save, and that worked. So now we have our movie list like here, and it was passed into the box component as an explicit prop. In this case, a prop called element. So before, what we had here is that we were basically implicitly passing in this component into the box. And then we read it there with the children prop. But here we now basically pass it in more explicitly. So we really say that we have an element prop, and then we place whatever we want to pass in right here. So right into the element prop. And this pattern is used in some library, for example, in React Router. And so this is why I thought it might be interesting to show this to you right now. And of course, we can do the same with the other box here. So simply saying element and then this. Now here, basically, we are passing in a brand new piece of JSX. And so here, we now actually need a fragment. Give it a save, and there we go. So the app now looks exactly the same as before, but we basically passed in an element or multiple elements here instead of using the children prop. But the result is exactly the same. And under the hood, inside React, it should also be basically exactly the same. So this can be a viable pattern in case you need to pass in multiple elements and give them separate names. So that would be a perfectly fine use case for using something like an element prop or really any other prop with any other name instead of the implicit children prop. But in our case, let's go back to what we had before, because I think it looks a lot nicer actually, and it's also clearly the preferred way of doing this inside React. So this was really just to show you. So I will just delete this entire code and put this one here back. And then let's go to the box and fix it there as well. And by the way, let me show you a very nice trick in VS Code, which is that if you hover over any component here and then hit Command on the Mac or Control on Windows, we can actually go right to the definition of the function. So in this case, of the component. So I'm hovering box here, then I hit the Command key, click, and then I immediately move there. And what's even nicer is that if we do the same down here, so again, hitting the Command or the Control key, then we go right back up. Well, in this case, somehow it doesn't work, but usually it should. But yeah, what matters is that we can move from where the component is called into the place where it is actually defined. And so now let's change element back to children, and then we have just what we had before. So this was really just to show you an alternative way of using component composition without the children prop. But again, using children is by far the preferred way of doing things.